Welcome to week 11. It is the week of Duke and NC State. It is another fantastic week. We are welcoming back our whole Pack of Wolves crew back to the show. So we are obviously going to talk about the win against Stanford. We're also going to preview the upcoming game against the Duke Blue Devils. So we're going to go ahead and get this one all kicked off. I'm going to start with my guy Hunter tonight. What was your thoughts last week on NC State's dominant victory over Stanford 59-28?
Well, me being an offensive guy and just absolutely loving that, I don't know that it could have been a better stat line than what we saw last week. Just incredible. CJ Bailey, 18 for 20, 90% completion percentage, best all time over Phillip Rivers, who had 87%. I mean, it was just incredible. You had three different guys score 2 touchdowns. KC had 2, one running, one receiving. Jordan Waters, oh my God, it was neat to see him go like he did. He needed that game. We're going to need that down the stretch. He had 2 touchdowns. Hollywood had 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. Justin Jolie had a touchdown. Like, it's just across the board. And that's why we lit up the player awards this week too. You know, CJ right now, 247's got him ranked as the top true freshman quarterback in the country, and they got him as the number 6 overall quarterback in the country. His Pro Football Focus grade was 90.7, so he was just outstanding. But Sean Brown was also named a semifinalist for the Buckets. That's only 15 people get chosen for that. I was extremely proud of him. And just all of the defense when it comes to the secondary. I'll get into some more of that in a second. And our last, those 5 guys that we have 5 guys make the PFF team. CJ, Anthony Belton, Jacarius Peak, Davin Van, and Devin Marshall. So the offensive line did an outstanding job having 2 100-yard rushers. And the only thing I will criticize us on was hard to find anything. I was very pleased, but I did think that we did a poor job of stopping the quarterback running the football. I know they played multiple quarterbacks, but I mean, I was just thrilled. And like I said, this is kind of my vision and dream for this team. I expect us to give up a few points, but if we can go out there, I don't expect 59 every week, but if we go out there and score 40 plus, like we're definitely capable of, you're probably going to win a lot of ball games. So we're trending up still. Our young quarterback's getting more and more comfortable, and I sure love it this time of year. Got 3 big ball games left. We got Duke at home. We got to go to Georgia Tech on a Thursday night. We get a 10-day break, and then we go to UNC, and nobody is picking us to win any of those games. ESPN's not, excuse me. So, I mean, to me, we really need this Duke home game to clinch that bowl, and then we'll see what happens in our last 2. I feel like we can win our last 3, but I'll feel a heck of a lot better about the season if we go ahead and get that bowl clinched this week versus Duke.
I love it. Savannah, I know you're a happy camper. I know your dad was a happy camper this week as well. So let's get what your thoughts were on that newfound running game this week.
Is anyone else not able to hear Savannah?
Yeah.
You're not hearing me?
We can now.
Oh.
There you go. We're back.
Yeah, you're good. You back.
I'm so sorry. I don't know.
You're good.
I forgot what I first said, so you're gonna have to cut that part out. Sorry. It was so
It's
good too. I was like, oh, it was so good that my dad had to jump in the wolf fountain, apparently.
Yeah, there we go.
But I think Hunter summed it up well. 200+ yard rushers is insane work. I'll take that any day of the week. That was the best PFF rating of an offensive line at NC State since 2018 versus a team that I used to cheer for. So we're not going to name names. But and that I happened to cheer for in that year, which makes it somehow even worse. But I'm super proud of them, super happy for my dad. Obviously, like, I see all the work that the players and the coaches put in week in and week out. And like, it's just so sometimes you like lose sight of why you do it. My whole family included, not my dad, but my family were like, why do we do this every day? That's why, because there's games like that that make it worth it. And so everyone did great. I feel like shout out to CJ. I mean, honestly, what else could you expect? I said last week, one of my keys to the game was like just another step up that ladder. And like CJ has truly delivered on that week after week. Every single, the whole team, honestly, especially the offense, because that's what I look at more. That's what I'm drawn to watching. But like, they have truly gotten better week over week, and I can't really say much more than that. So that's my takeaway.
Maybe we should start another tradition. After every time we get 100-yard rusher, your dad gotta go during the fountain after every game. So It was
I
fun to
told
watch.
him, I said, someone said something about it on Twitter, and I was like, got to give the people what they want, Dad. So we'll see. He didn't say no.
Might be one of the best recruiting tools that you will see from an offensive line coach out there, bro. So awesome to see that this week. Kobe, what was your overall thoughts and as we looked at this one from last week?
Well, I came in here saying that State's undefeated on my birthday, and they continue that streak now.
Yep.
It was also a great time to watch some NC State not basketball, football. I got basketball on my mind. Football. Great time to watch some NC State football. I just felt like from the go, I mean, State's offense just looked like they were on a clinic. I mean, scoring on the first possession, you get a fumble, and the defense gives it right back to you, and you score again. I mean, when has that ever happened for NC State? I can't remember. We like the NC State of old would have gotten a field goal on that second possession after the fumble. Like, I mean, or we wouldn't have gotten anything. To me, it just felt like we were playing complementary football, and for once in a while, like that actually happened. And it was awesome to watch. It was a great birthday present, so it was fun. I got no complaints. I will say this: it was nice to see everybody kind of get involved. Jordan Waters had 2 touchdowns, had 100 yards. Hollywood Smothers had 2 touchdowns and 100 yards. Glad to see the 2 running backs go off, for both of them 2 touchdowns and 100 yards. And then Justin Jolie, it's always good when Jolie touches the ball. He got a touchdown. And then the young guy, Keenan Jackson, got a touchdown. And then here he comes. KC Conception got not 1, but 2 touchdowns, a passing TD and a rushing TD. Some Deebo Samuel type of stuff right there, And I'm kind of like what we're doing with him. So there was a lot to like. I did not like defense though. Defense kind of needs to shapen up when it comes to a running quarterback. I had that predicted in my prediction last week that we would kind of struggle with the running quarterback, and I was not very happy with that. But we got the win, scored 59. Hey, what can I say? Feels good.
Feels good, doesn't it? So most points against an ACC opponent for NC State last week with their 59. So, Dean, what were your takeaways from this one?
What I will say is we ran the ball really well. Smothers and Waters were really great. The reason we call him Hollywood is because he shows up big. But I will give one thing that nobody has said quite yet. Our pass rush was really good. They were causing havoc all day for Stanford on the pass rush. Now, the run defense needs a lot of improvement. It's like when they go on those shows. Has anyone here ever watched Love It or List It?
No.
It's like when the family says, we want this really nice, big, open, beautiful basement with like a bathroom, and like the basement they've got it built with is like bare support wall, like 2 washers and dryers, and like you see like the insulation here, you see like the piping there, you see like those big metal like cones, and it's just a bunch of like exposed walls, a bunch of wires. And there's like some random washing machine, like the steps creak when you go down there. So, I mean, but we'll get there with the run blocking. I trust this team. I mean, they had that issue last year, and they figured it out down the stretch. Think they can do that this year.
Hey, Dean, we had 13 and a half tackles for loss. That was a great point that you made.
Great
point. That's a lot of tackles for loss, man.
It was fun to watch. That's all I know. It was one of the most complete games I think NC State's put together, especially this season, but even dating back to last season too. I thought, they had some missed assignments on defense that led to some big plays, but overall, I thought the defense played well. again, I mean, anytime you hold a team under 30 points, you're kind of expecting to win. So I really thought they did a good job on both sides of the football. I mean, NC State got off to a fast start, and that's what we expected to see out of the bye week. I think the best tweet that I saw from this past week was, whatever we do during the bye week, do that during fall camp, because whatever we come up with the bye week, we're on fire. So
someone suggested
keep up the momentum.
Someone suggested we move our bye week up to week 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the best one I saw is, please move the bye week up to the start of fall camp, first day. And then start then. So, but they always come out really good after the bye week. I mean, Dave Dorn's always historically been really good after the bye week. So I thought it came at a good time too. We were able to get some guys back as well. I mean, I said last week I wanted to see the stars come out, and Hollywood showed up. So I want him to continue to get more touches. We said that we wanted to see more touches from him last week, and he got his touches this past week, and he showed out. So kudos to the whole running game, passing game. All of it was working and clicking. So one of our highest graded offensive performances in the last 2 years as well. So really, really good effort from both sides of the football. So but we're going to get now into the Duke matchup this weekend.
Hey, Savannah, do you think your dad is pleased with Jordan Waters averaging 23.5 yards a carry?
Probably. I'll just go on record and speak for him and say probably.
Why don't let's just do that this week and we'll be all right.
If it was me talking about non-conference college basketball games for NC State, I'd be mad it wasn't 25.
We're gonna make sure that he breaks the record too. I think the record for the longest run for NC State was 96 yards, and he took it 94 yards to the house. So shout out to him. Hopefully we get another chance. Maybe he gets the chance this week against his former team to break the record this week. So
I will say this: I hope we do not have him break that record, because it means we have the ball inside the 4.
I'll still take a 96-yard touchdown run anytime, though.
I would too. I would just take not having the ball inside the 4.
So let's get into Duke this week. Another big rivalry game with us. It's NC State's final homecoming game, or home game of the season. It's also Military Appreciation Day as well. So it's going to be another fantastic day, another great day in the fall. But let's get into that. So I'm gonna start with Hunter. Hunter, what's your number one key for NC State to get the win this week?
For me, it's going to be containing the passing game. I dove in their stats pretty heavy. Duke's power football index is 61. Ours is 70. So I've seen a lot of similarities this week in what we're good at and what they're good at. Oh yeah, by the way, shout out Wolfpack Nation for it being the 20th straight sellout. All right, I'm real proud of us for that. So my keys, though, it looks like they got 4 wide receivers. They really spread it around. The quarterback, and I thought he was a little bit more mobile than this. I'm not saying he can't run, but he's got negative 67 yards. So he's getting sacked some, obviously not taking off much, but he's got 4 receivers he really likes. Their overall offense is 105. Their passing offense is 62. Rushing is 119. So it really is going to come down to stopping him and those wide receivers. I got a few stats on them, but definitely their quarterback in the passing game.
Awesome. So, Dean, what you got for your key for this week to watch?
Well, you guys know my favorite key is normally going Justin Jolie. However, I will change it up this week. In what happened with the Stanford game, I think that we need to keep broken tackles, like us missing tackles. I think that needs to be kept to a minimum. When we get contact on their players, they need to go down. We can't be letting them break tackles here and there, because that's how you give up extra yards and that's how you lose football games. And so it was okay because we played Stanford, and Stanford is, no offense to Stanford, not good at football. So that can kind of fly. But if we do what we did in terms of run defense against Duke, we're going to be hearing a lot of Duke's band trying to play a fight song.
Absolutely. Good take on that. Savannah, what do you want to see this week? What's your number one key for us this week?
I want to see back-to-back 200-plus yard rushers. If you run the ball, you take time off the clock. And the bottom line is, if you control the clock, you control the game, you win football games that way. So if we can even have like 100-yard rusher and then someone who runs 80 yards, has 80 yards rushing, I'll take it. But I'm really looking for back-to-back weeks of 100-yard rushers, multiple if possible.
Love it. Colby, what's your key this week?
I like what Savannah said. I mean, that would be nice. I mean, two guys rushing over 100 yards. Yeah, I'll take that. I also like mine really is because with Malik Murphy, he's kind of turnover prone. He's thrown a good amount of interceptions this year, more than C.J. Bailey, more than Grayson McCall. So, I mean, if we can turn him over, I feel like we will successfully win this game. Duke's offense doesn't really scare me that much. It's their defense that's got there's a lot of good with that defense. And like with any Manny Diaz defense, they're always going to be tough. I mean, Manny Diaz, he's a good defensive mind. But I just think if we can control the turnover battle, I feel like we can win this game pretty handily.
I love it. So mine this week was kind of piggybacking off of what both of you guys said. Mine's keeping the pedal to the metal again this week. Come out aggressively just like we did against Stanford. Continue to push the football and push the gas on offense. So I love what I've been seeing from them the last 4 weeks. As Savannah said last week, they have gotten better and better. They're continuing to take steps up the ladder to get better, and I don't know how much better you can be from C.J. Bailey, but I would still like to continue to see those running backs get their touches because I really think that helped us open up our passing game too. Realistically, C.J. got really going off of those RPOs, and that's what really got our offense headed down the field instead of sideways. So I really want to see the Hollywood and Waters, especially Waters. I'm really pulling for him this week against his former team. So,
yeah, that's right.
Yep. But we're gonna get key players. So Colby, who's your key player or key unit you want to see this week?
So, my key player didn't even play last week. You know, poor old Devin Boykin didn't even suit up. So my key player kind of just didn't play. But I also I felt like I had Justin Jolie as well. I mean, you know, target him, good things happen. But I really feel like this week, I want to see some revenge. I want to see some fight in somebody that this is his former team. I want to see Jordan Waters absolutely have his way with this Duke defense and record 100 yards, 200 yards, 300 yards, 5 touchdowns, 10 touchdowns, you know, just run all over them. Just completely own them, Jordan. I want you to go out there and completely dismantle your team, your former team. And, yeah, let's go and flush some Dookies.
I love it. So, Dean, who's going to be you for this week?
Well, you guys know the answer I normally give, but I will change it up this week, and I will actually say a different running back, Hollywood Smothers. It is important that we have a great running game, and that does require both running backs to be going. And for anyone who has not watched NC State football this year, I will give you a scouting report on Hollywood Smothers. He's fast, and if he's even, he's leaving. If he's even, touchdown Wolfpack. I mean, that is my key. I think that he has to have a huge game, not only through the run, but I also would like to see him get a lot through the passing game as well. And by that, I mean receiving. So I would say Hollywood Smothers.
Awesome.
Is
Savannah, who's your go-to this week?
Yeah, so Colby ate and left no crumbs. That's who I was going to say. I want to see Jordan get revenge on his former team. To be honest, I hope it's both of the running backs as well. I hope we're giving a little bit of that Detroit Lions, Sonic and Knuckles type game here this weekend.
There we go.
And so I hope it's both of them, really. But specifically Jordan, revenge on your old team is so sweet. I can only imagine. So I'm really hoping for it for him.
This might be one of the only weeks that Savannah gets to cheer "Go Pack Go" for them on Saturday. So, Hunter, who are you looking out for this week as well for your guy?
I really like what all three of you said, honestly, because I'm going to go a different direction, but I do want to piggyback on that. I think it is very important that we can run the football this week with Duke having. I had on NCAA.com had them as an overall top 50 defense, right around 49. It's valuable for many reasons, just because it keeps their offense off the field is one of them and gives us a little time of possession. And that's just like playing defense, lets our guys rest. But I still think the most important part of this game is not CJ Bailey. It's going to be, number one, senior captain, senior day, or going to be walking probably because he's going pro, Davin Van. I think it's going to be about getting pressure on Duke's quarterback because we talked about earlier on the show. He doesn't have a ton of rushing yards. That doesn't mean he can't do that, but I believe he wants to sit in there and sling it to those receivers that he likes. So I believe pressure from our D-line is going to be the key for us this week.
Love it. I was picking that side of the ball this week as well. I'm going to go into the secondary though, for his senior as well. Please give me a one last good showing at home, Aiden White. So I want you to show out this week, ball out, go out there and leave it all out like you haven't got anything left in the tank. So I wanted to give you the love this week. Go out there and shut down those receivers as Hunter was talking about earlier in the show. So I think we're going to need him and our entire secondary to step up this week. But I had singled out Aiden White this week. So another good week for you, young man. Hopefully you have a great one and another good day for senior day as well. So with all of that, I'm going to let Hunter take it over now. He's going to do our pick'em games for the week. I think we were all pretty rough last week. I know I was for sure. Me and Kobe going with the Gators was not a good deal. Good. But yeah, we're going to let Hunter take that one away.
All righty, so the first game we got is number 23 Clemson at Virginia Tech. Clemson is favored by 6.5. I believe the start time for that game is at 3:30, so that's a little bit of a benefit for Clemson. Half the game's going to be in the dark. Y'all know how crazy it is in Blacksburg. Clemson coming off a really bad loss. Louisville's a good team, but a game that Clemson just couldn't afford to lose at home. So I'm going to start with Justin. Who you got?
I'm taking the Hokies this week. I know that's going to shock some people, but I do like them at home. I do think Clemson's coming off a really bad loss, and this was the only other game I had penciled in for Clemson as a tough game for them. I think them being in Blacksburg, it's going to be really tough for them to get the win. I think Virginia Tech gets it done this week.
All right, good answer. Dean, who you got?
I will say this. I think Clemson will pull out a W, although I think it will be a very tight game. But if Clemson does not, you're going to get calls from some people named Tyler in Spartanburg. Not have Clemson.
I think he's going to get more calls just from Tyler. He might be getting calls from the IPTAY leadership team from that.
That's funny. Savannah, who you got in this game?
All I've ever seen from watching Virginia Tech athletics is disappointment. So give me one more disappointment. I got the Tigers.
All right. Good deal. And then Colby, what you got, man? Who you got?
Give me the Turkeys.
Yes. I got somebody with me this week. Yes.
So it's coming down to me to break the tie 2-2, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
You got to take it. You got to break it for us.
Virginia Tech has had that heartbreaking loss to Miami was just, they really did deserve to win that game more than likely. I think they're inconsistent but very talented. They are at home in one of the toughest places to play. But I'm going to stick to my guns. I think Clemson's a better team, and I think Clemson's going to be in the ACC championship game, and I think Clemson's going to win on Saturday to get back right. All right? I got Clemson. So
maybe taking the Tigers.
So we've got Justin and Colby going for the castrated Turkeys. And you have me, Hunter, and Savannah going for Clemson.
Give me hokey high, baby.
That's it. All right, next up, we got number 3, Georgia is at number 16, Ole Miss, and Georgia is favored by 2.5. I'm going to let Dean start this one.
Well, what I will say about this game is that I think that this will be very interesting because Georgia is coming off a very disappointing performance in their game against Florida. They may have given Billy Napier another year at Florida with how bad Georgia played, but I expect them to clean things up this week. I think they will end the Rebels like Grant.
All right, got one pick for Georgia. Colby, who you got?
They're Rebels.
All righty.
I like
So
it.
you're saying hotty toddy.
He's going hotty toddy this week. Lane Pain Train.
Yep, I'm on the hotty toddy train.
All right. Savannah, who you got?
Hotty toddy, baby. There's one thing if there's two things I believe, one, Jackson Dart is my favorite quarterback in the ACC or in the SEC, excuse me. And I love Lane Kiffin, but I also think Georgia needs a bad loss. They need a loss that looks ugly. They deserve it for having culture issues. It pisses me off. So hopefully it's this week since it wasn't last week. I talked so much crap on Twitter about Florida winning, and then it went to shambles. So let's hope it's this week. It's in the sit. Let's get it done. Hotty toddy, baby.
All right. Justin, who you got?
Y'all know me. I'm normally all over the Lane Pain Train, but I'm going to take the Ferrari this week. So give me the Dogs driving the Ferrari past the train this week. I think Georgia gets it done. I think Kirby's going to start waving bye-bye to the Pain Train on the way off tracks this week.
Yeah, and I can't stand Georgia's culture issues. They don't address them. It's all about the money train and winning, and I don't think that's very good. But, obviously nobody gives a crap about that. With that being said, though, I think Georgia's for real. I still like them probably now to win a national title, even though they have not looked that great. They definitely are winning at Ole Miss this week. And I got them beating the 2.5 spread. That's really just a pick 'em.
I love it.
Hey, guys, get ready for Savannah and Colby to be deputized by the Oxford Police Department and a lot of arrests to take place in Oxford.
It's the money train versus the pain train.
All right, we got next one up. We got another big one. We got number 11 Alabama at number 15 LSU. That's the 2.5-point spread for Alabama. I think that game is at night at LSU. This is going to be something here. You got Kelly, who's he really needs to win a ball game like this. The way he lost to Florida State the last 2 years. Bama's coach is going to have a little bit more. They're going to be a little more lenient with him, but he can't lose a lot of games either. He'll be out of there no matter if the buyout's $50 million too. So. Alabama, like I said, favored by 2.5. Let's go with Colby first.
Go Tigers.
All right. LSU's the first pick. Justin, who you got?
Man, my heart is always going to have a little bit of love down in Louisiana because that was one of the first ever places that I had my first adult beverage at. So I'm going to say I'm taking the LSU Tigers this week. The Bama train is over this week. Give me LSU.
All right, Savannah, who you got?
I hate picking against Death Valley night game for LSU, but I'm going to have to do it. Roll Tide, baby.
Dean, who you got?
For me and my family, I'm going to say spend my dollar watching LSU beat Bama. Give me LSU.
Oh, my goodness gracious. We got a bunch of LSU in here so far. Only one Alabama pick.
It's probably going to come down to she's probably the one that's the smartest of all at the end of the day.
Let's hope. I have some ground to make up.
I still think Alabama's Alabama, and I will take them as well. I think it really is. It really is a toss-up. I'm worried about it because it's at night, but I'm taking Alabama. All right. Next up, we got number 20 Colorado at Texas Tech, who many people think have been getting disrespected. They're not ranked, but right on the edge, probably like 26. I hadn't checked. But Colorado is favored on the road by 3.5. Savannah, I'm going to let you go first on this one.
The problem is, I guess I'm rolling with Colorado. that's I don't really have much else to say other than I'm rolling with Colorado. I'm mad Texas Tech won last week. I'm happy for them from an upset standpoint. Not great for them. Not great for the Big 12 in terms of the Big 12 championship for my personal endeavors. So let's go with Colorado. I'm not super excited about that game. I know that sounds lame, but
Dean, who you got?
What I will say is that the Buffalo will attempt to stomp all over the Red Raiders, but like out west, they're going to get on the train and they're going to knock them right on down. Give me Texas Tech.
All right. Justin, who you got?
Buffaloes. Just give me the Buffaloes all day. I'm a huge Buffalo fan. I think they're going to end up getting the job done this week. It'll also help Savannah's crew out too.
Colby, who you got?
The Raiders.
All right. I'm always doing stupid stuff with these. I don't know why. I just get overthink it. You know, Colorado's favored, but it's on the road. I hate picking against home teams, but I am taking the bait and taking Colorado on the road. And all right, and this is our last one right here. Savannah's got to go last on this one. This is a big one for her. We got number 9 BYU at Utah. BYU is favored by 4 points. And Justin, I'm gonna let you start this one off. Who you got?
Utes, Utes, whatever, it doesn't matter. Utes, you know, if y'all are a big movie reference fan, y'all know what I'm talking about. But y'all know I'm taking BYU this week. There's no way I'm gonna go against them. They're playing some of their best football. And it's Utah. So, you know, ultimately I can't go against BYU.
All right, Colby.
Some people call this game the Holy War. You know what? I'm going to do something that a lot of people probably aren't going to do on this podcast. Give me the Utes. BYU sucks.
Oh, my goodness. All right, Dean, who you got, man?
I will personally say that they call this the Holy War. And wars normally have back and forth battles. I don't know if you see that this week. Give me BYU.
All righty. I'm going to actually go next and let Savannah finish it. Isn't Utah's quarterback out for like a year?
Isn't that guy? And he calls him his like 12th year.
Yeah, it's like 5th year in a row being out for the year. He's
trying to be Armando Baycott of football, but he's probably getting rich doing it. Okay. I think he's back.
He's getting closer to the retirement home, is what I heard the last time. So long.
Utah's got a heck of a program. They've been right there and winning championships in their conference, you know, lately, but just been really good. But I just, without their quarterback, and I believe in BYU's physicality, I think I'm going to take BYU on the road to win. And that now comes down to Savannah, alumni.
First off, ironically enough, my parents went to college at BYU with Kyle Whittingham, so I am too a huge Kyle Whittingham fan, and not a Utah fan, but a Kyle Whittingham fan. BYU's fans travel better than any fans in the country. The only place they don't travel well, Utah. They're not great at traveling to Utah. It's really hostile. It's just the whole thing. It's really close. One of the closest rivalries in state of any in the country. They're only like 25 miles apart. Crazy game. But as a West Coast girly, even I know there's really only one U, and that's in Miami. And the University of Utah is a fake U. And I would be doing my family a disservice if I didn't start singing the BYU fight song right now. So rise and shout, the Cougars are out, baby.
Yes.
And we got to remember now, Savannah's brother is on the team. That's, you know, so we got some reasons to jump on the bandwagon. So
I'm jumping on them just because I know they're going to whip Utah. That's all I can say.
Go Utes.
My question
this week. He could play this week because there's less than 4 games left, and so he could play.
My question is that it says, what was it? Rise and shout, the Cougars are out.
Yep.
Along the trail to fame and glory.
Where are they out to? Are they out to? Are they out at breakfast? Are they out to lunch? Are they out at the doctor's office? I'm just trying to figure where they're out to.
Oh my God!
They're out to
On
take
the
down
trail
Utah.
to fame and glory, Dean. That is where they're out.
So what you're saying is the
Colorado,
trail of fame and glory headed right to the doctor's office.
No,
Y'all are
BYU's
crazy.
also playing phenomenally, and I
They're
think one
playing good
of
football.
Lonnie's Coach Sataki, excuse me, one of his biggest positives is that he totally rides the momentum wave. He is phenomenal at riding the momentum wave. They have good momentum. He is great at keeping that going. So I think it's a really tough game. Ever since I've cared about football, have really gone Utah's way. They don't have it played often. So let's bring it back to us BYU alums having a streak. So
I will say for this year for BYU, it's not even a wave anymore. At this point, it's a tsunami.
Yep.
we're
gonna go with that's the this might be one of the only times that blue gets the win over the red for this week.
Hey, red in every state but Utah. That's my family's rule. No wearing red in Utah, but red in every other state.
Blue's not getting it done in Raleigh either. So let's get to the Raleigh game too.
And it's exciting that game doesn't kick off until 10 o'clock Eastern. For those of you that stay up and watch that last round, that's going to not interfere with those really good SEC games at night. So this is an exciting Saturday to catch that one for sure.
Absolutely.
And then that leaves us to the big daddy now, baby. Duke at NC State. We are favored by 3 according to people betting, but we're not favored by ESPN FPI, whatever that means. So we're favored at home by 3, and the over-under is 51.5 points. Dean, let's start with you, man. Who you got this week?
Well,
senior day.
First, I'm going to give a little bit of a backstory. Earlier this year, the Devil went down to Georgia and lost their golden fiddle. They finally got that fiddle back, and this week they're losing it in Raleigh to the Wolfpack. Give me NC State.
Nice.
I like it. You got a score prediction?
What's your score?
I'm going to go 27-17 NC State.
I like that too. A little bit of a lower than – yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
Because both of these teams like to run the ball.
I think it'll be I don't know. That's just great. You're pretty close on everything there. Colby, what you got, man? No, you got to go last. I'm stupid. That's right. You're our closer here, baby.
Yeah, you got to close it out.
Savannah, who you got?
Always rolling with the pack. I think it'll be kind of like the Miami game that Duke just played, where it'll be close till about halftime, and then we'll run away with it at the end. Second, third, fourth quarter, I think we're headed in the right direction. So I respect Coach Diaz. I actually like him a lot from a defensive scheme standpoint. I just think that with the momentum our offense currently has, we get it done against the Manny Diaz defense.
Perfect. Justin, what you got, man? And what's your score?
I got this one as a high scoring affair. I think both of these teams are peaking out offensively. I really like what Savannah had to say too. I got a ton of respect for Manny, since he was here as well in Raleigh, but his time in Raleigh didn't end very well, and I don't think his time with the Duke Blue Devils in Raleigh is going to be ending very well either. So I'm going to take NC State in a close one though. But I'm going to go 39-31 this week.
I like it. I am taking NC State on senior day for sure. I love the way our program's trending up this last several games. I also am going to do the over. I think that's just a key for us. If I'm going to pick us to win, that means we're going to score points. I don't care how we do it, but I'm not – you did 39-31. I think I'm going to go 34-31 us in a really good ball game.
Love it. Bring us on home, Mr. Closer.
I feel like it's time we flush a Dookie. And we're flushing the Dookies this weekend. Give me NC State. Let's go. Give them a taste of their own medicine. Nah. 56-2. NC State.
You gonna flush that deuce off the board too, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god! I love the 56-2 games. That's when I know he means business.
I love it.
Oh yeah.
So we appreciate y'all. Thank you again, Hunter, for doing that. So Kobe, bring us on home, my guy. It's our last home game of the season, but we will be back as well after the bye week for Georgia Tech as well.
All right, last home game. You know, a little sad. But we get 2 more games after this. They're both away. You know, let's show out for the seniors. Show out for our military people. And go Pack. Let's go!